Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guests today are from the Cedar Rapids Independent Film Festival, coming up in a few weeks. Scott Chrisman, his Gnome Day Talking Picks, Scott the Amazing Chrisman. You often hear on Wednesdays here on KCCK. Scott, welcome.
Hello, thank you.
And Festival Director Eric Freese, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Nice to have you both in. This is one of my favorite shows of the year because I always am interested to hear what films are coming, and because you always have a huge selection. I mean, you got to be really dedicated to see every movie. But there are people who do it.
There used to be. We expanded past that, and much to whoever that person was chagrin of, I can't see it all anymore. There's too much schedule.
And the festival has expanded. You got a couple extra days this year.
Yes, we're really excited. We had a record number of entries. We had 121 entries this year, which was great. We're showing a record number of films. We're showing 65 films this year. And the judges picked a lot of longer films and things like that. And we've realized that we needed to expand our schedule. And we've done that in the past where we added Student Cinema Sunday and we started earlier on Fridays. This year, we're really excited that we're expanding into Thursday evening, April 9th. And that's going to be a lot of fun. We're hosting those at the Ideal Theater and the Olympic Southside Theater.
So those will be running concurrently then?
Correct.
Oh, okay. Interesting, particularly at the Ideal, because that used to be a theater.
Exactly. 1914, it was originally built as a silent movie theater.
So movies returning to the Ideal for the first time in decades.
You bet. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So you'll be going then Thursday and just Thursday. Mm-hmm. And then Friday, then you move to your usual venue, yeah?
Yep, Collins Road Theaters, Friday through Sunday.
Okay. So give me a few of the highlights. You got 65 films, more feature length, or longer, I should say, longer/feature length this year than you have had in the past.
Sure. We have a lot of, I say this every year, we've got a lot of amazing films from professionals, hobbyists, and student filmmakers. There are so many great ones. We have a couple of great music videos from Christopher Gathercole. We have a student documentary from a Burlington middle school student. It's called Freedom on Trial: Rights and Responsibilities in Island Tree's Board of Education versus PICO. It is about the only court case about book banning that ever reached the Supreme Court. And it's by, like I said, Adrian Gillette, who's a student at Bettendorf Middle School. And he's won some national awards. He's rubbed shoulders with Ken Burns. So we're really excited to have him
up-and-coming documentarian for sure.
Wow,
Absolutely.
that's So and middle schooler. So we're talking 13 maybe.
Yep. Just getting started.
But I know that you've had a student division in the past, but your middle school, he's got to compete with everybody. Sure. Everybody in that category.
Middle school through college.
So. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he does. It's incredible.
Strong word.
If you didn't, and he does the voiceover himself, and if it was done by anybody other than himself, you would not know that it was a student production, certainly not someone that young. It's really neat. It's really neat. We have a couple of great films with a Czech background. We have a student documentary called No Cans, which explores the oral and written history of a grandmother's Czech cabbage roll recipe. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, that's one of the ones that we're starting out with on Thursday.
Oh, and the perfect place to have it in the Czech Village Nubo area.
Mm-hmm. And the other one is called Do You Understand Me, which follows the story of a deaf Czech immigrant living in America and how she navigates life with her daughter. So those are actually showing back to back at the Ideal Thursday night. We're excited to have those kind of in their neighborhood.
Scott, you are the festival founder, and of course, every year I'm sure you go into this thinking about how things have changed and evolved over the years. We've talked about this in the past. The biggest change, of course, is equipment-wise. Mm-hmm. People can make a quite serviceable film using their telephone.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, all the fundamental principles are the same, but essentially we're all carrying a mini studio in our pocket. Now, some drawbacks here and there, but you can get something done with just what you have on hand. So it's a far cry from used to be, thousands and thousands of dollars and huge heavy equipment you had to haul everywhere. Everything's gotten smaller, faster, lighter. You can do it with a skeleton crew and still do a very professional job.
Well, and even though it's a lot easier, even though, as you said, anybody can make a film, but the professional principles still apply. Has the quality held up, even though it's gotten easier and easier to make and submit?
Yeah, I think the strong artists always rise to the surface. And one of the things we've noticed over these many years is that you always have to have a good story. And it doesn't matter how much money, what kind of equipment you have. If you don't have a story at the heart of it, then everything falls down. So it's making sure you've got a story to tell and you're telling it competently, regardless of what equipment you have.
Well, and with the right mind behind it and the right story, Cabbage rolls will tell a
Sure.
compelling story.
And I'm always impressed every year with the documentaries that we get, and I learned something about Iowa and some little corner of the state that we haven't heard of before. And so I'm excited to say, well, there's something about Iowa that I didn't know.
We said at the top that it's getting harder and harder to see all of the films because you have a record number this year and some longer films. There have been years when there have been a lot of short films. How do you recommend that people tackle this beast?
So take a look at the synopsis page on our website and just get a sense of what the schedule is. Some people like short things, some people like long things. And I would say just kind of scout it out for here are topics that I like. And I would say there's really the way we've designed the schedule, there's nothing that you're going to be disappointed in. It may not be your flavor particularly, but we've tried to think about it as, okay, put some things kind of like each other next to each other. But in every festival, there's always something you go, well, this isn't something I would have chosen, but I was already there and I was waiting for the next one. So you might see something you really like that's not something you'd have picked out, but it's so well done. You go, well, gee, I'm glad I saw that.
You mentioned documentaries and also music videos. What about narrative films? What is that? What compelling stories? What stories are we telling?
We've got some great ones. We have our very first film in Tagalog this year, a Philippine film about a third grader who struggles with stage fright and her relationship with her mother. And it's all about how she navigates that relationship. It's called Raya Among the Clouds. So we're excited about that one. We have a couple of interesting features. We've got a feature a period piece called Jury of Her Peers about a pioneer woman who is accused of murdering her husband, and it's all about her friends investigating and trying to get to the bottom of this murder. And then we have a film called Your Lips Never Left Mine, which is a sort of a suspense feature, kind of a little bit on the horror side of things, from a person who attended the Iowa Writers Workshop. So just a lot of variety of things coming from all over the world, all over the country, from anybody who's got this Iowa connection.
Yeah, and that's the rule. We should we also mention every year. Anybody can submit. You just have to have some Iowa connection.
And it's a testament to how many people who have been Iowans or come through Iowa that are working in the film industry all over the world. Iowans are everywhere. It's great, and it's always neat to see where we're getting films from every year, because we'll find people in LA or in New York or in Florida or wherever, and it's great to meet them, find out what they're doing, what their experience has been, and it's great fun.
Yeah, that's the Dennis Green first rule of travel: is wherever you go, at some point during your trip, you will bump into someone from Iowa or has family in Iowa or wants to come to Iowa.
Sure. And they've run into each other in their professional careers too. So people who lived, worked, went to school here in Iowa, grew up here, were born here, are maybe on one of the coasts working on films, maybe in Arizona working on films. And they do tend to find each other, and they really enjoy coming back. So a lot of them we hear from, hey, this is a great homecoming for me. I've been out here for a long time, but I'd love to come back and show my work to the hometown crowd.
I know you sometimes do some panel discussions and talkbacks and things like that. What other non-watching film activities do you have this year?
After each section, we've got some Q&A for the filmmakers who are present for that particular block. So you might catch some various people there. And we're working up a panel now. There's a couple ideas we're kicking around. We're thinking about maybe getting into the AI sort of thought of how that works, how that's influencing things, how it should be dealt with, how people are thinking of it creatively or maybe very much against it. So that's a potential topic. We haven't solidified them just yet.
And audience members can also vote for their favorite films.
Definitely. There's the regular audience choice, and then there's the student audience choice. And yes, we encourage people to vote for their favorites.
If people want more information, as you said, Scott, probably the best thing to do is spend a little time prior to going to the film festival to look at the different times and venues and topics and start figuring out how you want to spend your weekend. And they can, of course, do that at your great website, because there's so much information that you have to put in this for that very reason, which is?
It's crifm.org. And if you simply search for Cedar Rapids Independent Film Festival, you'll find us. It's got the full schedule, synopses, descriptions of the films, all the various ways you can interact with us or attend. Would encourage you to check it out, see not only the films you want to see, but who, as filmmakers, you're interested in maybe connecting with. A lot of them do attend throughout the weekend at various times, and then the Student Cinema Sunday on Sunday. Especially if you're a student, come and network with your peers and just find out how this works.
If you're interested in film, that is, at any age, I'm guessing that would be the perfect place to start.
Absolutely, make some connections and find some recruits for your next film.
And I'm sure that if you buy your tickets in advance, you get a little bit of a break.
A little bit, sure.
Yeah.
If you could buy a session at a time, a couple bucks off early before the event. Also, if you are investing in the full event pass, you actually get quite a deal because it trims it down to not quite half, I think, if you bought all the individual sessions, but it's a heck of a deal. So recommend that if you've got the time to invest.
Again, the Cedar Rapids Film Festival is back for another year with an extra night, beginning on Thursday the 9th and continuing through the 12th, and the new venues in the Olympic and the Ideal Theater, and then, of course, over the weekend at the Collins Road Theater. And again, the website, if people want to look for more information or get their tickets in advance, is
crifm.org.
Well, good luck with it. Thanks for being with me today.
Thanks so much.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio most weekdays at 10:30, on demand at kcck.org/culture, or subscribe using your favorite podcast player. Watch our videos on the KCCK Facebook and YouTube channels. Our producer is Lydia Kilgore. The Culture Crawl theme is composed by Vivian Shanley. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.